what I can tell you is that Nordic AMPlify is a program that's been designed with purpose and based on decades of work, a lot of work that I've done since 2004, to be honest. And so it is a proven model. There's over 110 healthcare accelerators in the United States. And I had recently had a conversation with Lisa Suanin from Madont in California, but she did a study on the American incubators for the California Health Foundation. And what Lisa and I concluded was that there's 2 to 3 of those 110 who do a good job. So what it tells us is that copying IT and creating accelerators for healthcare simply doesn't work. And this is why co-development is so important. But we've also created a very interesting and powerful strategic ecosystem with Winston-Salem, with the hospital systems, Novant, Cone, Wake Med, Wake Forest, Atrium, that is basically you're not going to find anywhere else in the United States. What Laura told you about North Carolina was spot on, but what she did not also mention, and maybe she did and I didn't hear, is basically North Carolina sits number 4 in the country with respect to quality of care. And if you look at the entire state as an ecosystem, every aspect of healthcare, from pharmaceutical drug development to delivery of healthcare to home healthcare, exists. As a former hospital administrator, if I had the opportunity, or maybe I should say the desire to go back into a hospital, it would be with one of the hospital systems in North Carolina. So as you've heard, when you come into the United States, it's not about selling, it's about asking questions. So we're going to ask you to be very un-Nordic, and we're going to teach you to be un-Nordic. And we want you to ask questions and learn, and this is how you're going to grow. The next phase of the program is the discovery tour, which Lena mentioned. I will get into that in detail. And those companies that successfully go through the discovery tour can then pitch for an immersion program. So if I can, the next slide, please. So who should come? Anyone that's not a drug company. How's that? If you're into biologics, it's just not going to work. It's not designed for you. So anyone who's basically in that medtech digital health space, you're welcome to participate and sign up. I think that's probably the simplest message. Who should attend? We have startups to scale-ups. What was interesting in the 2020 cohort is one of the largest companies in Sweden was not accepted. One of the smallest companies in Iceland was accepted, and a drug company out of Finland who was getting out of the drug industry and into AR, VR was accepted. So we can't predict who's going to get accepted or not, because we as the Nordic trade offices do not participate. So in the selection process, that's done with the Nordic AMPlify ecosystem. And I'll talk more about that. Do you have to have capital? It would be great if you're generating something, but it's not required. If your idea is good, if you have some clinical evidence in your home country, and it fits a real need in the US, then you have a good chance of getting accepted into the program. We have 5 hospital systems representing over 200 hospitals and 7 venture capitalists who will be looking at your applications. You're going to get a good read. In any situation coming into the United States, it requires commitment. The American market will see if you're not serious, and they'll stop you and they'll say no immediately. So you really have to make the commitment in terms of time, money, and human resources if you want to be successful. Next, please. Today is today at noon, when this program is open, the applications open up. And Claudia will basically give you information on how to do that. The application is 18 questions. 7 of them are housekeeping. Who are you? Where are you located? How big are you? Then the other questions really get into you explaining and communicating who you are, what you're capable of doing, what your value proposition is, what your success is. The questions are answerable in anything from 7 to 100 words. So think carefully how you want to respond. Any of the trade offices, your colleagues that I've introduced, are here to help you. I'm more than willing to walk you through some and help coach you on the questions and answers. Do not fill the applications with technology sell. That's not what the judges are going to be looking for. And the questions are pretty understandable. And the reality is you probably know the answers to all the questions. The applications will close on July 1. We have 5 health system CIOs. We have 8 venture capitalists, and we even have some mentors who will be reading the applications. Everyone who applies will get feedback. The feedback will range anything from maybe a paragraph to a half a page. We're not going to write you a thesis, but we will give you honest feedback on why you were selected or why you were not selected. We will select 15 companies for the 2021 cohort. And then those of us in the different trade offices are willing to work with the other ones who don't get accepted so that you can get yourself better prepared for the 2022 program. Ideally, we'll run this twice in 2022. The program will start in September, so you will be advised before September, probably late August, if you're in. We will have 2 workshops, one in September, one in October. We haven't decided whether it'll be half-day sessions or two half-day sessions. We're designing that right now. And then we'll be invited to North Carolina in November for a 1-week program, and you'll also be accompanied by the 2020 cohort. So it'll be a 1-week program where you'll share some time with your 2020 cohort colleagues and sometimes by yourself. You'll be in North Carolina in Winston-Salem. You'll see the ecosystem. You'll be able to meet with clinical people, the hospital innovation people, as well as the venture capitalists, and then the mentors. The mentors pick you. The selected companies will be sent out to the mentors, and the mentors pools pick you. We don't pick the mentors. North Carolina doesn't. So what we found out with this process is by the mentors picking you, you get the best possible person to work with. You have your mentor for 6 months, and then the program duration runs for 9 months. The mentors just don't say goodbye at the end of 6 months. It's up for you and the mentors to determine how you want to continue for 6 months, after the 6 months. And what I can tell you of the 12 applications, 12 companies that were in the program in 2020, 4 of them have made the decision to move offices to North Carolina and continue to work with their mentors. So after a short period of time, we're seeing significant commitment and significant forward motion. For you, the program duration is 9 months. In February of 2022, we will ask you to pitch, and that gets you into the immersion program. So the immersion program, if I go back a little, at the end of your 1 week, you will have started to understand who you are, where you fit is. And at the end of the program in 9 months, you will pitch to the hospitals and the venture capitalists. The best 2 to 3 companies will be invited back to North Carolina to work in one of the hospitals with one of the hospitals, not in, but with one of the hospitals for a 12 to 14 week period. So it's immersion where you can really dig in deeper. And at that point, you'll be able to pretty much stand on your own 2 feet, working with your mentor network and the other people that we introduce you to in the United States. The program fee is $7,500 for the duration of the program. You'll have to pay for your own travel. We do not cover that. And what we found out is that what really is, we've been told by several other people who've looked at the program for a critical point of view, it's over $100,000 of advice that you're getting through the program. To give you an idea of the momentum of the program, we have been approached by Germany, the Netherlands, and Canada to all join, and we maintained the agreement with North Carolina that it will continue as a Nordic-only program. So the competition to get in is very, very strong. Claudia, have I left anything out?
No, I think that is it. Thank you so much, Val. And a big thank you once again to all our fantastic speakers and all your Nordic companies for attending today. I picked up some insights in terms of both panels. And as Dr. Kvader said, are you solving a problem that someone is willing to pay for? And is someone willing to pay enough for it to make it viable? Very important questions that every Nordic company needs to consider, especially from the US lens. We had David say that feedback is the most important thing. Ask questions and consider all different perspectives. You have the users, you have the payers, you have the physicians. And for finishing up with Rob, don't forget to do your homework, your due diligence, and and understanding who you're meeting and the product market fit. And Angela said, the magic is in the ecosystem, and we believe that the magic is in Nordic AMPlify. So we're here to help you with all of these questions to kind of understand how you fit in with the US market and how we can accelerate your growth. With that, I'm certain that you're full of new knowledge and very excited to start planning your US market entry. As mentioned, we will send out the link most likely tomorrow to the application, and we encourage you to apply if you feel like the Nordic AMPlify is the right program for you. If you're looking into the US market, this is your way to shave off up to 2 years of your market entry. With that, should you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to your company representatives. We're here to answer any questions. And again, to all the US speakers and participants, thank you so much. And the Nordic companies that attended, I wish you a pleasant evening.